Hello everyone, so this is my first Offworld trading company cast here, and I just recently got into this game and I find it absolutely fascinating, and the reason I'm doing this is really to uh, uh, get some commentary on how the game went and any advice or tips. I've been really trying to learn the strategies of the game. I want to cast this one because it's a 1v1 I played uh, ranked, and I thought it was a really exciting close game when I was playing it, so hopefully it's similar to actually watch. Um, so looking at this map here, we see that the northwest quadrant is completely barren, useless set of mountains. Got a pretty plentiful area in the southwest, just water in the southeast, and then tiny little patch up here in the northeast. The colony is starting with some demand in electronics, so that could play into decisions for what to found. Now, my opponent went ahead with an expansive HQ right here in that plentiful area, and I know that I was hovering over it too, and maybe was seconds away from placing, so I had to make a new decision as to where to go. I think really the only obvious answer has to be in this area because of these starting resources. So
An expansive
yeah,
HQ
so
has
an
been
expansive
founded.
goes down here as well. So the expansive HQ, my understanding is, essentially is the baseline headquarters. Doesn't really have special powers, gives you extra claims. So you play your normal game against it. So we both went ahead and built a metal mine and then 2 steel mills, which also is pretty standard. We both have a need for aluminum and steel, and so you want to get your steel manufacturing going right away, since you're going to need it for the both making buildings and your HQ. Now, one problem he does have is he's not near aluminum, which is another ongoing demand resource, whereas I do have a very high patch over here. So that could play into the long game significantly.
An expansive HQ has been
Um,
upgraded.
but so my opponent does go ahead and expand first, which is makes sense given he did also found first.
An expansive
And
HQ
he is
has been
floating 30,000
upgraded.
debt for that,
The
whereas
black
I
market
am
is
sitting
online.
nicely on no debt. So that was probably what I was waiting for. Um, Now, he goes ahead and upgrades into get some water going. Always a good idea. Water feeds all other 3 life support resources, or the 2 life supports plus fuel, which is always in need. And he's waiting to decide what to do with the rest of it. I am also sitting on my 4 claims trying to decide what to do. Maybe also looking at, you know, uh, usually what you'll do is sell a little of your steel here to get some buildings going, and then obviously keep manufacturing more steel to move your way into an upgrade. So, uh, Deflavigny has gone ahead and moved into the geothermal, and it is the only geothermal on the entire map. So makes sense. Even though distance doesn't matter for producing, it would be a long flight for me to construct over there. So it was very unlikely I would have taken that. And it does mean I'm gonna have to find alternative power. So he's done that. What did he do? His other 2, he's now building farms. Again, definitely something you need ongoing. If you don't go into that, you're going to build up some debt. And also, food just in general, the demand always goes up because as we expand our HQs, the demand goes up and the colony constantly goes up as well. So I went ahead and moved into
New land
uh,
is
a
available for
3rd steel
auction.
mill, so I get that benefit of production. And also aluminum. No, have I taken aluminum? Yeah, so it took the high aluminum. Makes a lot of sense since that's going to also be in high demand. You can see it's actually very profitable right now. So there's an auction up for this empty tile, which is suited for the Pleasure Dome. But the Pleasure Dome, the problem with it is neither of us can build it right now. It's a level 3. And also, it's not really valuable until more habitats have grown around it. So, tough to know exactly how much to bid. You don't want to go too crazy on it because it's not going to get you any revenue right away.
Sold.
With the exception of maybe building a power on it, but it's not good for wind, so you could maybe build a solar panel and wait. But yeah, so I did go ahead and get it for 16k, so have to float that for now and then hope for it to come through later. Looks like I'm running out of metal there, so you want to make sure that you've always got some cash so that you can pay for a resource. If it's profitable to manufacture, if the resource is cheap enough. So it looks like I swapped out that third steel, decided that was not profitable enough. We can see steel, since metal is high, steel is not worth it. So I actually went ahead and switched that out to food, which is currently profitable. And then there we go, first blood. So black market EMP, and that shuts everything off for a good part of a minute here, which is going to really, really hurt and put me behind. So you can see I'm up to 30k in debt, so I've already built up the debt that he started with. We are relatively close in value though, and resource, or floating cash and resources. So it's very close right now. All right, network virus went down on right. So on the geothermal. So something I read is that you want to coax out a goon squad. So he could have defended this geothermal, which would be a very likely thing. So play a less harmful power on it, because then if his goon squad steals it, you've got rid of the goon squad and he doesn't have something really hard to put on you. But it looks like he wasn't protected, so it was just a wasted power. Now, if I'd thought this through, I would have realized, well, he played an EMP on me, so he probably did not have a goon squad. So I should have just gone right ahead and mutinied this, and I would have been taking the power for whatever it is, 60 seconds or so. But nonetheless, so a couple of missteps here. But yeah, so my opponents managed to upgrade to 3, although I did too, so I'm very closely behind there. So he's sitting on his claims for now, so am I. Alright, so the Flavigny is going ahead and moving into glass. So that makes a lot of sense. Glass is the next big resource we're going to keep needing, plus the colony does not need glass, so there's not any demand pent up there, but the two of us will need it. Alright, underground nuke, very powerful. So underground nuke can reduce, a level 3 down. So, definitely try to starve one of us. Water's not really a problem, so it'd be hard to use it to starve anyone. But, there's very limited, like, this, I think that's the only high carbon on the map. So, given that he's probably going to get into carbon, would have been valuable. It looks like we just let it go. Yeah, so both of us distracted, because you never really want to let go any market item for 4,000. So I'm finally back up and running, and sitting on my 4 claims. The Flavigny is still in his glass, although it has yet to turn a profit. And what else did he build? I guess he went into oxygen and fuel. Also very important, given that they are both profitable right now, and the constant demand going to be in for that. And I'm still sitting on my claims, probably trying to figure out what to do, but not good to just be not using that money, right? I invested in the headquarters. I've got a higher drain on my resources, but I'm not actually making any money from that investment. So not good, but alright, finally decided to go off into oxygen and fuel here. I saw the shortage is coming, so that must have probably prompted me as well. And in fact, see, this is the sort of thing that it's tough to do, but, if he's watching me at all, he sees I just built the oxygen, I'm going to take a little while to get up, he should tank it, right? He's sitting on it, or sell out as much as he has, because, now I'm in it too, and either of us could sell. But yeah, so still got an empty claim. So I've still got my pleasure dome that I have not built, and it actually would be more profitable now. Once again, we have a shortage. So all the developed, whatever you want to call these, the intermediate resources are going to be going up in price. So that's going to help his glass kilns, which have just been, doing nothing for quite a while now. Steel also in the red. I'm still sitting on 2 claims, trying to figure out what to do with them. So it looks like we're just waiting out, trying to make some money, get some money in. Alright, so there was an attempt. So, he went after...
dangerous explosives available to the highest bidder.
He did try to mutiny, something of mine that I had defended. So it looks like I defended something here, assuming it was high value. Probably he was trying to get my aluminum, which makes sense because he's starved of aluminum. So then I went ahead and took that mutiny and did it right there on his wind turbine. So, you know, goons are so powerful if you play them on the right spot, because they lose the money for what they paid for and get it played against them. My opponent goes ahead and upgrade to level 4. I'm sitting on 53k in resources here and sitting at level 3 though. So I have a claim left, so I'm probably not thinking I want to rush upgrade. And just trying to figure out what to do next. So I'm going ahead and pulling in more aluminum. Aluminum is climbing in value. Wow, yeah, hugely profitable. I probably should have been that earlier. And really realizing my monopoly on aluminum. Very important, actually. So I do go ahead and invest in that. And looks like I'm also sitting on some dynamite that I bought. Still floating those resources, staying at level 3 here. Oh, but I am moving into some advanced buildings, so I'm finally getting my pleasure dome down. And also going into the patent lab. So I'm currently the only one who's going to be doing research for the sweet technologies. Otherwise, still sitting on that money. Something they say you should never do. I mean, you know, worst case, put the money in your own stock, because assuming your stock's going to keep going up at this point, you can always sell it and get some return on it. So just really can see some play here that I need to optimize. So I finally go ahead and upgrade to level 4. And
The patent lab is
we'll see what I decide to build with that. So I do, my patent lab's built and I immediately go into teleportation. So teleportation is very valuable for me because I am completely starved of the silicon and carbon, which high value. And we can see actually I immediately claim the carbon with teleportation on the way. So hopefully by the time that gets up and running, you know, I won't even have to deliver any. But I could even think about, I don't know, you know, getting that construction timing down is going to be tough, but you know, you at least want to put the claim down on it. So meanwhile,
How could one refuse
a little bit more power coming in for De Flavigny, and also going ahead and adding on some more oxygen fuel. So we have a high water tile up. So, you know, water is very high value right now, and it's right next to me, so this tile is obviously really good for me. You can see I even had some mules going after water, which, you know, if a mule's pretty cheap, and you get, you know, if I send 2 mules for 400 water over there, it's probably profitable. He let me get that for 8,000, which is a tough one because, you know, it's kind of useless to him. But for me, it's too profitable to let go for 8,000. So, let's see. Colony is developing. So yeah, my pleasure dome worked out there. Got 4 habitats around it. Looks like Colony's really hitting it hard on electronics. And you can see that's reflected in the price there. But neither of us making them, I don't think. So doubling down on glass, getting that 3rd in there. Oxygen fuel, that extra one did not work out too well because it's now in the red. And let's see, he's sitting on about 44k. So I'm actually up again. His value, stock value is higher, so he's got better structures. But you know, I've got more money, just barely. Also, I have more debt, he doesn't. So, looks like, what just occurred there? Colony continuing to develop. I got teleportation. Teleportation is up. Am I mining? Yep, I've got my... So I actually got silicon and carbon coming in right now with teleportation. So that's going to be very... that's really going to make an impact for sure. Looks like I could even upgrade to 5, but I'm waiting, as usual. Don't know if, you know, obviously 5, again, drag on resources, but should be able to make those tiles work for you. Ooh, what do we get? We got a wind turbine, so I did go ahead and steal his very profitable wind turbine there. And I'm going for thinking machines, or I just finished them, so yeah, so that even makes sabotaging harder because it's not gonna like lower value for him because it's gonna do less damage. And not researching anything right now. Ooh, we have an off-world construction going, so he is moving into off-world. So best off-world price right now, we can see every shipment about 32k profit.
An expansive HQ
Oh,
has been
well, that just
upgraded.
dived, but still got a 30 over here. So obviously that's going to be a big target. I went ahead and went to 5 though. So he went into an off-world and stayed at 4. I went to 5. And looks like we're looking at slant drilling. Could be very valuable. You know, does he have... He has some carbon available here, so, you know, he wasn't shut out of it. You know, I took most of the silicon. Is there any other silicon? Yeah, he's fine, though, because he has silicon already. So, you know, slant drilling not super useful to him, but might be better for me, because I could then build some more carbon over here. And carbon is crazy. I mean, really, I should do that right away. Or at least put one tile in it. So yeah, Offworld just finished, so I'm assuming he's going to get that shipping ASAP. And yeah, there he goes with some fuel. So it's making about 20k, not the best. In fact, you know, even if you're not making it, you should look at this number because it's basically saying it's profit, right? So, you know, it's buying the resource, but it will still make that profit. See, I am sitting on a ton of unused tiles right now, so it looks like I ditched water because it's completely tanked in value. I must be thinking about putting something else there. You know, really you want to turn it off. If you're not going to start building something, you just turn it off. And then I go ahead and build on, so I'm building on more farms. Got my chemicals going, which makes sense since I'm doing a lot of patterns. It's also something you could think about is that knowing that I'm going into patterns, you know, you basically, as soon as you see a pattern lab go down, it's a good idea to just invest in chemicals because you know that demand is going to go up. Although, look, is the colony using patterns? Oh, using chemicals? It's got a little demand in chemicals, although not much. Alright. And this is where the game, it gets crazy to keep up with playing it. It's still hard even just trying to commentate it. So we've got electronics being moved into, electronics sitting at 500, so that is a late play that, you know, makes so much sense. Not sure why I went into chemicals instead, and then I just rebuilt my water, so really pretty awful. Looks like I did get hit, and that should have had less damage on it since I had I have the, you know, thinking machines. Looks like I also went into water, which makes sense, the water engine cold fusion. So both of these mean that while water is cheap, which it just climbed up in price again, but while water is less than power, you get advantages from it. Alright, so opponent's definitely, looks like he's got a lead. I mean, his stock price slightly lower, and I have managed to defend my stock. But, you know, I mean, maybe we're even, given that he hasn't invested in his own company yet. So yeah, because as soon as you do that, your price essentially goes down because you lose the cash. Dynamite went unclaimed again. We are clearly both being overwhelmed with things to do. Rocket took off, so he just would have got another little influx of cash. And should get another one going. There he goes, sending some fuel out. Again, not the most profitable one. I mean, maybe he was basing it on what he had in stock. So we've got another electronics factory going because that price is staying incredibly high. Although note the profit, it's really important to look at that. Like, it is not actually super profitable given that the raw resources for it are just as high. So, you know, you always want to bear that in mind because ultimately you would do better. You know, electronics consume aluminum and carbon silicon. You'd be better off just mining the carbon and silicon. Alright, what else is going on? So, we both defended our stock. Looks like I'm a little behind on price. Still quite even. Very, very even here. Alright, now this is significant though. Yeah, the off-world market. I mutinied it. So, as long as you tee off a shipment before you mutiny, you get 2 shipments out of that mutiny. So, big deal. And I believe I missed it, but I also coaxed out his goon squad with a lesser black market item first, and then I was spamming on it to run that
The
mutiny.
black market is online.
So
Launch
yeah,
affirmative.
I get my
What
first
a
shipment off
payout.
55k. So definitely that helped me take a little edge there. You know, really it's about that cash in hand, because it's all about, can you get to the buyout price? So notice, you know, we're both sitting at those amount of resources, and buyout price is similar for both of us, right? It's about 600k. So he plays a network virus on me, but that's not, and that's why I played the network virus, because it's only damaging if I have unprofitable buildings. So really he should have played that virus over here, where those are unprofitable right now. All right, well, I'm finally using my claims. Big surprise. I'm finally getting into electronics, which are staying high in price. And as you can see, they've finally become profitable as well. Looks like silicon, some silicon got sold there. Carbon is just out of
You can't let them
control.
get this. Bid now before it's too late.
Look at that, 400 profit for carbon. And that's really where you want to be looking at. You know, yeah, I mean, I have slant drilling. Why am I not increasing in there? I know I've run out of claims, but still. All right, so nanotech, not super valuable now, I think. I mean, it depends how long you think the game's going to go after this, but, you know, ultimately, nano lets you deconstruct your buildings, get resources back, and then buy something else. So it's good for moving quickly into a new resource. But, you know, we're in the late game here.
Successful off-world shipment.
And
Make room for the
yeah,
profits.
I managed to mutiny his Offworld again. So I just stole 4 shipments of Offworld from him. Without even building an Offworld, I basically am benefiting from the Offworld. So important to Goon Squad that. There's no, you know, and it's tough because Goon Squad's 20k. So, you know, you're defending a shipment worth at best 34k with 20. So it's still net profitable, but it's, you know, you got to keep your eye on it. And this is actually, you know, I think that was a key thing that pulled me into the lead here. I'm now moving up into the 500k range, and he is down at 300. Notice I am going in now for the buy, knowing that I was coming close to his price. So yeah, so we're basically both snapping up stock with our cash, because any early stock you buy here is gonna matter for that eventual buyout. And I'm slightly ahead there. Just made a buy. Oh, so I'm actually even buying. Yeah, so I bought out his own stock. So I paid double price for it. But again, assuming his price is going up, in general, you want to do it earlier rather than later, although his price is going down. So you know, you can see the victory condition here. I've got a 17% edge on him here. In terms of income, you know, it's hard to tell. I wish there was actually something that was showing kind of income as a total. All you can do is look at, well, here's all my green, and then, you know, I'm unable to select him for some reason now. Oh, there we go. And he's not auto selling, so it's actually hard to see exactly what he's making. Oh, I was paused. Yeah, so, you know, I've got a lot of things on auto sell right now, which, you know, is good. You want to be careful with it, because obviously if the price suddenly drops, you don't want to just keep selling it. But right now it doesn't look like there's massive movement. But yeah, so, you know, he's down at 96 in cash. I'm at 191. But I don't have a lot of reserves. So yeah, really you have to look at this. I'm actually at 307. So, oh my god, I did mutiny again. So, yeah. That's the 3rd mutiny, I believe, on the Offworld. So essentially he paid for the Offworld market, and I've used it for 6 shipments. So that's going to be a big situation. Yeah, let's see what the colony ended up going. So, you know, electronics definitely went all the way there, and that's what really kept the electronics price at the highest level. Otherwise, you know, and also I got full value out of this dome in the end. So that 20,000 auction way early, right, which gave me debt early, didn't get to use it for 2 HQ upgrades, but you know, now probably really contributing to that lead, pulling away here. So now I think we're both just going to be.
Make room for the profits.
Yeah, I mean, I just landed a mutiny and a power surge, so I'm really pushing anything I can to keep restricting him from earning. And yeah, I mean, he doesn't have any cash, so you know he couldn't even get a retaliation in there. And so yeah, this is pretty much where you can see that it only really toppled. I think the definitely huge consideration there. Oh no, yeah, as soon as I got that 100%, I did a sell all buy. But yeah, you know, a mutiny in that one market, you know, the only real defense there is you're just going to have to float the cash to keep defending it. Or you have to make some sort of equal retaliation against me, which is, it is tough when you don't have that single point of focus. Interesting thing is, you know, there was a hologram. This is tough to do, but you know, he's got his market in the middle of his, you know, in the middle of his HQ, right? I'm actually not sure what happens when you play a hologram on the market and then it ships. Like, does it actually hide the rocket taking off? Because that seems goofy, but also, you know, important to hide it. But you know, a hologram might have actually hidden it better for me than having to compete on getting goon squads in time. But yeah, so I hope I was, you know, thinking through the decisions. You can see I was very behind on key decisions. You know, electronics obviously getting into earlier, sitting on claims far longer than I should have been probably. But yeah, a lot to improve on, but still a good game. And I hope you enjoyed that cast of it. If you did, please definitely let me know and like and comment and whatnot, and I'll do more of them. So thanks for watching.